All right, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of G-Boot 2786. I'm Gavin Richard. This is Gavin Richard Presents. Little breaking news. Late yesterday evening, we got word that Mr. Marquis Jefferson, age 59, father of Atatania Jefferson, the young woman that was shot while playing with her nephew inside her home in Fort Worth, Texas, died yesterday after suffering from what they call a massive heart attack. According to a family spokesperson, Bruce Carter, he said that he was fighting to be a part of his daughter's life to the very end, and he said that he succumbed to a broken heart, which I honestly believe. Now, I don't know if Mr. Uh, Jefferson had children, any other children outside of her Tanzania, but I definitely believe that the loss of a child is the worst feeling that any parent uh, could ever experience. Any pain, and worse than any pain you can ever succumb to or be afflicted by. And I definitely think that it played a role in his demise. 59 years old is way, way too young to die like that under those circumstances. And he fought to the very end, actually, to have justice for his child for being killed the way that she was. And that included suing her mother and her aunts as well. He filed for a temporary restraining order to get full authority over her funeral arrangements, and he did. He didn't want to turn this into another Botham Jean situation where you got these family members talking about forgiveness and getting monies from, the city and so forth, and hugging the murderer. He didn't want anything like that. He wanted justice for his child. And you even see now, and since I'm speaking of the Botham Jean situation, do you all know that Amber Geiger has already filed an appeal in her case, and her mother is asking that she be released from jail based off the fact that the family actually forgave Amber Geiger, the boy, actually, the young brother, hugging her in court. I completely feel, and this is why I tell you, if you're going to forgive, I'm not saying that forgiveness can't be done, but should it be done publicly? I don't believe so. Should I be used in that way so that my brother's killer or my son's killer can get a lighter sentence? See, and people don't take that in consideration when that stuff happens. And I know that they're from, that family is from the West Indies or somewhere in the islands. So they don't experience or probably not familiar with the stuff that we go through here in America as black people, but they should be aware. They should have known better. Maybe this is not something I do. And the father didn't even, I don't want to get off subject with that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I digress. At any rate, Mr. Jefferson clearly was looking out for his child and wanted to be a part of her life. He was a writer, he was a fighter, and he was a warrior. And you can tell by the way he acted what he was trying to do for her with this lawsuit that he filed in the courts. And I'm pretty sure he was going to fight all the way till the end to see that this cop was punished. And I'm curious now what's going to happen now that since he's died. Now the family of Atatania Jefferson on her mother's side, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually if that cop did get acquitted, or if they came to some type of settlement agreement with the city. They always, when I see these shootings, that's what always typically happens, is that, yes, that person either gets a slap on the wrist or they get convicted of do a little time, but they're not in jail for the rest of their lives. Very rarely does something like that happen. Of course, the shooting that happened with the brother that was shot outside the convenience store recently in Florida, where he tried to use the stand your ground law. Those white supremacists tried to use that as a defense, and the sheriff was helping him out there in that little town in Florida. It didn't work because there was video cameras showing that after he was pushed down, his life was not in danger, and the victim actually was backing off when he was shot. And he got sentenced to 20 plus years. And plus, he had a history of doing it before where he would instigate things of that nature. The prosecutors brought all of that up. And I think it was the state attorney general, assistant attorney general, that was in the Trayvon Martin case that was prosecuted at. I know he also did the Jordan Edwards shooting in Florida, where that was over the loud music. And that guy got sentenced to 20 something years. So, you know, oddly enough, in Florida, where they have probably the most, some of the most racist laws, and I'm not saying that necessarily stand your ground is bad, because I'm pro Second Amendment myself, and I think most of us should learn about the Second Amendment and learn about gun classes, but definitely it's used, and it has been used to the advantage of whites obviously get the benefit of the doubt. There's stats on that, so that's not a question. And I think that and Atatania, surely if she did have her gun at the window, you couldn't see it. She had every right to grab it because she heard noises coming outside of her window. And if someone doesn't announce themselves as police or gives them a chance to drop a weapon or whatever it was, some type of warning, definitely I would think that this was an armed robbery attempt made on my home if I were her. So I don't see why she would be in the wrong for that. But at any rate, excuse me one second. Yeah, at any rate, you guys just keep watching the news, see what's going to happen. This is a developing story. I'm waiting to see exactly what the other family members are going to have to say and what's going to happen in a few years, because now, you have these cases where they're big. They start off for about a week or two. They're on fire, and then it cools down because something else big goes on in the news. Because now we're talking about impeachment proceedings with Trump, which I doubt are going to go anywhere. You have to have proof that it was high crimes, and high crimes are misdemeanors, as what's required in the Constitution to impeach a president. And it has to go through, you can be impeached, but then removal has to be ratified by the Senate by more than 2/3 vote, which I don't think they're going to get. But I think all of that is distraction. But you guys just keep watching the news, keep watching everything, watch this story. But rest in peace, rest in power, Mr. Marquis Jefferson. I know that now, if I can say anything that's comforting, is that you are with your daughter, and you guys can be reunited. And so you guys have a good day. Keep the family in prayers. I do want to keep the Jefferson family in prayers with their passing of their patriarch with the father. So that's it for me, guys. Peace out. Enjoy y'all Sunday.